Hey, good afternoon. This is Joe from the Fort Belvoir Range, Mr. Roberts on the forums. Here to do another bow review for you. I've got the 2015 Carbon Spyder Turbo ZT, 2015 Elite Synergy, 2015 Matthews HTR. So I've got three equally weighted arrows. Those are 402 grain Easton Axis 340s. Gonna shoot them through paper. Gonna shoot them at the targets. Let you know how they each do. So we'll start first with the Carbon Spyder Turbo ZT. These are all these bows have all been bare shaft tuned. Those of you that are into that, make sure that they're going to be accurate. So, barring any natural disasters, they should shoot pretty well. Okay, close up on this. A bullet hole. That's good. Shoot the Synergy. That bullet, and last but not least, the HTR. Trust me, if there's any torque in these holes, we're shooting bullets. It's probably just because I've been shooting a lot today. And there you go. There's the last one. There. So that's a good start. So we'll go ahead and take the arrows out here. Shoot these. Like I said, these bows have all been bare shaft tuned. We'll shoot the HTR and the Synergy first and see how they feel. Okay. First out of the box, shoot the far left target here. Will be the Synergy. I can tell you, I'm shooting this bow, probably one of the smoothest elites I've ever shot. Very, very accurate bow. Not speedy by any means. Believe it or not, you'll see in the second segment of my video, it's about 3 to 4 feet per second on average slower than the HTR at the same 28-inch draw length, 71.6 pounds. It holds great. Really holds great. Should come over here. Right there with that white piece of white right there is. Stand right there. So, wanted you to kind of hear the bow from the same spot. There, because we'll do that same spot for all three of the bows, just so you can hear how loud and how quiet they are. Okay, pull these. As far as smoothness goes, you're kind of, when you're pulling back, you're pulling of a true 70 pounds It's very, very smooth through the cycle, but when you start, it's definitely harder to pull back than the HTR. Not very good shooting. This one I threw off the last one, but I tell you, the other night I was slapping arrows with this thing, and it is extremely accurate. Next, we'll shoot the HTR. Get a feel for that. Stand right there where the 9 is. So, my trusty companion here is standing exactly where she was for the other one. We shot the other bow, just so you get a feel for how noisy or how quiet these bows are. Said any mess ups in accuracy on these bows is probably due to me. Not doing this very well. So I've been shooting a lot today. Still left one out to the right there. Biggest difference that I can see between the Synergy and the HTR is it's harder to get the Synergy started. It's probably more weight to pull it when you first start. Not a terrible group. It's not on the X, but they're grouped nice. The Synergy's definitely a little harder at first to pull back. It's kind of like you're getting the true full weight of the draw, whereas the HTR is easier to pull back right when you start the draw cycle. And I'll explain kind of what I mean by that in a minute. So now we'll shoot the Carbon Spyder Turbo ZT. And this bow is fast, very fast. I think with a 402 grain arrow, 28-inch draw, 71.6 pounds. I was shooting from my man cave this morning, shooting 308 feet per second with a 402 grain arrow. That's pretty screaming. If you're looking for a fast bow, this is it. The one thing I will tell you about this bow is when I shoot my Synergy and I shoot my HTR, it's a lot easier to hold those bows because they lock into place, they get a lot of let off. You just have to pull into the wall a little more on this bow. But as far as from, I've got a 2014 Carbon Spyder Turbo hanging over there, and as far as last year versus this year, I see the speeds consistently up 8 to 10 feet per second. And I know it's a 350 IBO bow, but sometimes the bow companies advertise something and it's not really true. I did see a noticeable difference of 8 to 10 feet per second on this year's model. So, but you definitely should pull into the wall with this one. Like I said, not shooting very well today, but this is more just to give you a feel for, how quiet the bow is, what it looks like when it's being fired. Definitely harder to pull back. So we'll pull these. Again, I wouldn't pay much attention to the arrows. It's probably me. First shot was good, second one was bad. Third shot was decent. But you know, the biggest thing that I have with this bow, which is it's just a tough thing all around, is when you're shooting something with a lot of let off, like the Synergy, the HTR, you know, and then you go to shoot the Carbon Spyder Turbo ZT. It's tough because you get there and you want to relax like you do on those other bows, and it starts to want to take off on you. But I mean, it's manageable. It's, you know, it's a speed bow. That's what it's made for. Shoots really, really nice. So I just wanted to cover something real quick. You saw me say in the last bow reviews that I felt like the draw cycle of the HTR was different, and that's the way I hear people talking about it. If you watch the other reviews, you also saw that when I compared it with an E32, it was about 48 pounds in the first 8 inches to pull it back. The HTR it's about 58 pounds for the E32 to be pulled back. So I was trying to get in my mind, besides just using the word different, what it would be like to depict or describe what the draw cycle is like between those two bows, between the Synergy and the HTR. So here's what I would say. You come over here and you look at my bow case. This right here is kind of the way, if you start from here, how the draw cycle starts on an HTR. Okay, it's kind of a ramp. So it starts, you know, it's lighter to pull back, you know, light, smooth, hump. Okay, the Synergy is more of it's more of this, and then it goes to smooth. So it kind of just more of an abrupt, you know, you pull hard, then it goes smooth. So I just think, you know, that's kind of the shape of things when you have the HTR, when you're shooting it in the beginning of the draw cycle compared to the Synergy. They're both very smooth. I think that the Synergy probably beats it out just a hair as far as the feel. You know, Elite's always had that good smooth feel during their draw cycle, but the HTR, I mean, if you're a shoulder problem person, it's definitely, I've weighed it, I've put it on a scale. The HTR is easier at the beginning of the cycle in that you know, very beginning range when you're pulling it back, and you can put them side by side and feel that. As far as, like I said, the Carbon Spyder Turbo ZT, you know, it's a great bow. It's very accurate. It is screaming fast. Last year's bow, when I was shooting this 402 grain arrow, I think I was right at, you know, probably 298 feet per second, and now I'm shooting 308 feet per second with the same exact arrow. Which for me, all that means is I'm probably going to use my Carbon Spyder Turbo ZT as my elk bow with some 454 grain injection series full metal jackets, and really get a lot of punch so I can blow through shoulders on an elk. That'll be my elk bow. My HTR is now gone to be my kind of my whitetail bow, my hunting bow, and the Synergy is now really replaced everything else as my 3D bow. So all three of these are great bows, great releases for 2015. I'll have a couple more videos where we shoot some various arrows in the man cave at my house. I've got some where I shoot all three against each other with one arrow, and then shoot all three of them at 60 yards. So look forward to any questions you have. Again, I'm Mr. Roberts on the forum, and go by Joe. If anybody has anything they'd like to talk about or feedback or anything, I'd much appreciate it. Thanks.